My visit to the SimRacing Expo in Dortmund yesterday was exciting, interesting and valuable. My most important insight is this: try before you buy. I too am lazy and prefer to do research online, read and watch review videos of gear in order to come to an opinion or even a purchase decision rather than go out and test the stuff live. Because, it's so comfy. But let's be honest, no criterion is as important as your own hands-on experience. Whether it's pedals, wheel or seats, touch the stuff, sit in it and push it before you make a decision. For example, I had already decided on the SimiCube active pedal as my new brake pedal, replacing my Heusinkveld. However, I'm very happy that I did not, but first went to the SimiCube stand to try them. Result? I won't buy it. Not because it's bad, on the contrary, it's a remarkable piece of sim racing technology with a lot of great features. But for me personally, it's too big in size and form factor, it's too extensive in its features, and eventually, yes, also a bit too expensive for me or for what I actually care about. Because all I really want is to feel ABS and locking tires or slip and loss of traction. And I can achieve that at a fraction of the price of the SimiCube pedals with base shakers mounted onto my Heusinkvelds and which are controlled then via SimHub. I don't need the whole bunch of customization options that the SimiCube has in the end. Instead, I set up my pedals once, get used to them, and that's that. I was also very impressed by the standard of the wheels. Whether Asher, Assetto, Cube Controls, Gomez or Simify Soul Pack, which was new to me, on the one hand, the level of the wheel segment has never been higher and closer to real racing. On the other hand though, I was quite surprised that even in the high-end segment, there are still such big and noticeable differences in terms of aesthetics, ergonomics and feel of the materials used, the button and knob layout, the haptics. Some steering wheels, for me at least, felt short, pretty short. In other words, distinctively cheaper. I mean, we're talking steering wheels between 700 and 1,700 euros, depending on the model and whether dash or not. I'm not going to mention any names except one. In terms of feel, the Gomez wheels with their buttons and knobs, for me, are currently in a league of their own. And I say that as an avid user of a Cube Control CSX3. It's almost ironic, but if there was one thing I had not on my agenda, it was racing seats. However, I ended up ordering a new one online late yesterday evening. Because, again, nothing beats hands-on, or in that case, bought-on. Over the day, I sat in a dozen different seats, and some really felt much better than my own TrackRacer TR80 GT seat. I wondered why and came to the conclusion that my seat is simply a bit too big for me, especially around the shoulder area. The best one I tried at the Expo were the Cooler Master Dyna X, in which I also tried Assetto Corsa EVO and the Sparco EVO L QRT. I ended up ordering the Sparco. Well, should arrive within the next week, and I will definitely keep you noted on if it was worth it. Speaking of, was it worth it? ACE, short for Assetto Corsa EVO. Like so many, I had the chance of a test drive of the new Kunos game. The footage you're watching there in the background is my buddy driving a Porsche Cup race at Imola. I did the same. It was a pre-alpha version of ACE with 3 scenarios of which we could pick one. Honestly, I don't feel in a position to say anything specific about the FFB and handling model of the game, as I was using gear I didn't know and which wasn't set up for me. But anyways, we were allowed to do a 7-minute race against the AI, which is basically 4 laps in that car on Imola, including an afternoon to night transition. And that, as well as the overall game, to me looked very good already. It ran fluently, had convincing lighting and shaders, looked crisp and quite natural, or at least much less comic and saturated than ACC. Overall, to me, ACE looked like a continuation of ACC with more refined physics from AC. Eventually, January will tell what we will actually get. For a more informative dive into the game, I would like to recommend you the Overtake stream with Michel, on which he not only shows much more driving, but also several Q&As with Assetto Corsa EVO's game director Davide. I'll leave a link in the description, of course. So guys, these are my impressions and insights from this year's SRE. Was definitely worth the ride. Thanks a lot for watching. Happy racing to all of you and see you on the next one.